So, hey, not a lot has changed since I last posted a video, a little bit of things. As you can see, I finally started painting, but um, the deal is this. I somehow, for a period of months, forgot how money works, and some things were necessary, dental work, doctors, but stupid tests that doctor said I needed that I didn't. That has left me a little upset about that one. But normally, you should know that if you're having a lot of those type of things taking up your money, then you probably shouldn't be buying stuff that you don't need. But my brain sort of skipped that, and I, I was like a little credit, like my worst enemy. Like, they know the bipolar mind, I swear. You know, places now like, is it Amazon? Might be eBay, where they will let you pay in installments, but it's like like once a week, not monthly, and um, and then there's a credit card, of course, and then there's my vet who lets me just grab what I need and put it on my tab, and then there's the care credit card for people that don't have like dental insurance, or you can use it for your vet bills. And anyway, all of a sudden I was like, well, I knew I was in debt, but I was not caring about it. and and then I had been planning, because I really wanted to get to do this at least once, and that's take the brooms and wands I make and staffs I make to the Renaissance Festival and have a booth and sell them there. I always wanted to do that. It's sort of like a bucket list kind of thing. And and I knew I was in a bad money spot, but I went ahead and put in my application, and they accepted me. And then I realized, oh my god, I need money for this, because you have to pay for I don't even know how much yet, insurance, license to sell stuff in that city, state. So I don't know, and then for the spot, you have to pay for the spot. And so I don't even know if I'm going to get my money back selling. And, but I really wanted to do it. That's what made me realize that for some reason, I knew it was piling up, but I just didn't seem to care. And or I was like, well, in the case of dental stuff, I'm like, well, what choice do I have? And for medical bills, I did put in for financial aid. I'm waiting to hear from that. I mean, I'm sorry, doctors, you can't just like go and send someone for an MRI of their finger without looking at it, just by my description, And then I had no idea I was going to have to be responsible for like $800. So I'm a little mad about that, especially I'm supposed to be having a mammogram. I'm due for that, and breast cancer is in my family. So my grandmother and her sister both had it. So everybody's in my family, females, we're all everybody's nervous about that. And I do have GI problems, and I'm supposed to have the routine as well as to help with diagnostic colonoscopy, and I can't get either of them done. Um, I could just like work my way out of debt only to put myself back into debt by doing those things, but I want to do this thing at the festival. And my other problem with it, though, is I mean, it's not my things, the quality or anything. I'm not worried about that. The fact is, I don't know anybody. I don't have friends. Um, I don't. This is gonna sound funny. Um, I need. Okay. It is like really difficult for me to maintain contact with a person like friends do. Um, I'm like, okay, I want to go away now. Bye. And that's not how it works. You're supposed to like do stuff together. I mean, I have friends, but they're not they're not like the kind of friends, I don't know. Here's my small list of friends. Um, Debbie, who I've worked with since I was a volunteer doing assessments on dogs to make sure their behavior was okay to be go out and get adopted, and and in other animal shelter activities. She left there um, well before I did, but she came and did the dog assessments with me every week, and so we have a lot in common, personality wise. We've had a couple of um, I don't know if they were misunderstandings or what, but it's like we both are the kind of person that, okay, there was a problem here, and we talk about it and we're cool again. Um, which I really like. One of my biggest dislike about people is that oftentimes not their body language doesn't match what they're saying, and so I just don't trust people. That's it. That's just I have reason to not trust people, because people a lot of times are fair weathered. I find shallow, untrustworthy, and really just like making friends to me equals getting your feelings hurt really bad. It'll happen at some point. But we've maintained many years of friendship, but it was slowly a friendship, and we're not like really it's weird. It's on a more intellectual level, I would say. Um, we're both like not very demonstrative and stuff, and we're working up here, and so we find those kinds of things humorous, um, and Then the vet I go to is another. Well, she first got to know me as a client, and she just like said, "You should volunteer." This is before the place was even built, and I was having a really hard time with social anxiety. I mean, I was uh, agoraphobic, and so like so I started out on just a Monday, once a week, and I fell in love with the dogs and the cats, but especially the dogs, and wanted to do more for them. So next thing you know, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I was a really annoying volunteer, but not in a bad way, in a good way. They gave me two different certificates for volunteer, going out of their way kind of thing. I forgot exactly what it said, but and so I had a nursing background, and she really liked that for me to be there to be the medical person when I actually started getting paid to be there. I was in charge of, first I was just, not just, but I was in charge of their physical and mental well-being. And then when the manager left, they asked me if I wanted to be manager, and so I was. And she really appreciated that I had a nursing background because I knew, the lingo, and disorder, just general disorders that they have in common, and how to give shot. Like I could give them subcutaneous fluids and stuff like that, which is nice to be able to do at 11 o'clock at night and there's nobody else, and you have a puppy dying of parvo, um, and isolation and all that jazz. So, and then so I'm not going to say her name because I don't want this to, anyway, her son started having he was a young adult, started having problems, and the doctor um, diagnosed him with the same problem I have, and she was having a really hard time with that. She envisioned a certain kind of future for her son, and she was terrified that he'd not get that. So um, I was there for her, and she's been there for me for things. Um, and so our friendship is a little bit more um, emotional. We've both, shared things, and um, really honest about feelings and things like that. And anytime we've had, like, here it comes again, we've had a disagreement or misunderstanding, you know, I learned this a long time ago. I bring it up. I'm like, I wanted us to talk about this, and this. She goes, yeah, it's been weighing on me too, and so she is somebody I would go to for more emotional support. Um, but she's still, like, to me, she's on a little bit of a higher level. I mean, we used to do stuff for the shelter together, and we've done stuff now, but it's about very specific things outside of the shelter. Um, that's what I mean. Is I like people in context. I like them to stay in context. I I'm a little weirded out when I see people outside of, say, work. I don't want to, like, stand there and shout And when I'm at work, I talk about work. And and I have a couple of online friends. They live far away, so um, they're important to me, but they can't help me in what I need. Um, and I have another kind of friend that I'm wondering if this might work. I met her. She was my client for a service dog, and um, we had a lot of things in common. And and she had made the comment that she didn't know anybody that had any of the same problems she did, and you know, um, and I don't either, not in real life. I didn't bring water with me, and so she's someone I might ask this to. And what I mean by ask is, I can't do it alone. The Renaissance Festival thing, and I really don't. I don't know. My mom really couldn't come with me for the whole thing for the day because we have dogs. We have 4 dogs and one with a heart condition, and I don't know who I could, and the Pomeranian doesn't like strangers, and I'm like, well, if we board them, it would be like for 4 days, um, and I really don't know if my mom's up to it because we have to be there by a certain time and have everything set up by a certain time, and I live 2 hours away, and so that means getting up very early and driving. I can't do that. I am still heavily medicated. And I will not have slept well knowing that I have to drive, like get in the car at 5 a.m. Um, and I'm like, I don't understand. There are people from all over. What do they do? They rent a room? Do they, you have to take can you leave your thing up and just take your merchandise into your car? Do they get a room, sleep in their car? I don't know. And it's not till October, but I'm already worrying that I'm not going to be able to do it. And then I'll be stuck with all these brooms. And so um, there's where I'm at. And so I was like getting really, really, really cluttered brain, and I was getting locked in my brain. And I'm like, I cannot continue life. I need this room to do things for making brooms and wands and stuff, but I can't be in it until it is done painting. Do you know that feeling? Where something just is incomplete, and I know my mom hates to paint, and I was like, I'm gonna ask you for a favor, and you're not gonna like it. And she said she would help me finish painting. I said I can't move on to my other things. So I, like the money thing, the festival thing in this room, it was all jammed up. And I had freed myself. I had paid the credit card off. I had freed myself. I'm waiting for the financial aid, so I know what I have to pay there. And so I have freed myself from that a little bit. I'm a little more comfortable. The MRI people are going to match what the hospital gives me in financial aid. So I feel better with that. And if I could just get the room painted, I could be on my way to, uh, in whatever spare time I have, making brooms and wands. And, um, which is going to be hard because this is another thing that's jamming, log jam, is, is that to pay that stuff off, I had to take more clients, more dog training clients. And it's not hard work. It's pretty. I mean, sorry. Here comes my dog. Hold on. Okay. So, clients. So I'm like, well, if I take on all these clients, I'm not going to have time to make these brooms. And see, the thing is it's pretty easy for me because I have that background, and I've been training dogs for a long time, and I'm really good with, I'm not bragging, I'm being honest, I'm really good with dog body language. And most of what I do is teaching. Teaching a dog commands, for the most part, is pretty easy. Teaching people, and yeah. So, but the problem is I live in a kind of rural area. I live in a town surrounded by farms, and so I do in-home training because I need to see what's going on in that house for me to know what might be causing the problem, because I deal with behavior problems like the Pomeranian that attacked the oven. Yeah, dangerous things. So I sometimes have to travel. Sometimes they're in town, sometimes they're in the next town, which is about 20-30 minutes away. And every once in a while, I will take someone who's further away because there is nobody. I am in a niche. There is no other trainers. And so, anyway, so now I have that dilemma. I think that it comes in batches. Like, I'll have a whole bunch of people graduate, and then I'll advertise, and first come, first serve for that spot. Sometimes I give certain things prep. If they're having certain behavior problems, I'll kind of lean towards them. But when I filled those up on my calendar, that if you wait too long, you missed out. And I have a Facebook page in case you want to look at it. It's Seamus at 214. It's like, no, it's one smart dog at Seamus 214. Seamus is Seamus. And I have pretty good reviews, and I get really good feedback. I get a lot of word of mouth clients, and people like bring up my name in Facebook places, and I just get a notification that says so and so mentioned you here. I'm like, oh my god, people are talking about me. So my area, it's a big area, but it's rural. I have to like hose my car's wheel wells and undercarriage to get the gravel when it's wet out of it. So that's rural. So I enjoy doing it, but it's not just like you go and do it. You have to especially for certain problems, you have to prepare the night before. Make sure if you have any handouts you want to give. What are you gonna do next? And um, so it just really takes up a lot of time. And I don't make a lot of money because of where I live. I charge what you would. The only equivalent I have is the shelter, which they don't have training anymore because I left. But I'm a little higher than what they would have charged people to come to them. But I do charge mileage because of the gas prices, obviously. But I I get paid in more than money. I get paid in helping people, um, and their dogs get a relationship in a place where everybody's more comfortable, safe. And there's only so far been one incident where I referred them to the veterinarian behavioral specialist because this dog would give you absolutely no warning, and he'd bite. He I wore my gloves, thank goodness, and he bit my arms, but he, like I said, I had these special gloves on, so it was barely anything. And and then next thing I know, he's like at his owner wagging his tail. I mean, it was not right. And I'm like, you're gonna have to take him to see this guy because it's a little more complex and a little more dangerous than I'm willing to go. So anyway, what I find interesting about all of this is that I had the money thing and yet had no other, or I don't think I had any hypomanic um, symptoms. So I don't know if I just got irresponsible, um, or what. I, my biggest indicator is sleep, and for the most part, I mean, I had a couple days where I didn't sleep all the way. I woke up and couldn't get back to sleep, but I've been sleeping pretty good lately. And I may be a little more energetic, but the money thing was over a period of several months. And if I look back on my graph, and I've been doing normal for a really long, long time. So either I was having symptoms and having symptoms, and I don't know it and won't know it until it goes away, or I'm just really bad with money. So, what do you think it is? Um, One other thing I'm going to bring up is obviously I haven't been doing as many videos. I didn't have as much to talk about, and and no, barely anybody's listening anyway. I'm not really sure why, and um, so I don't know. I'm I don't want to be that person that threatens over and over to stop making videos because they want to hear other people say, no, please don't stop. But I am considering taking a hiatus and maybe just popping in if something's going on because, you know, I don't know. Should I sit here and talk to the screen? Um, Anyway, well, I'll probably wait until I get a little bit better on track. And when I find out about my financial aid and this room is painted, I'll probably feel differently about everything. I'm just hoping I still have the creativity in me to make the brooms and wands. I think I do because I already have ideas. So, um, yeah, it's getting late. It's about 30 minutes in, so I'm going to go take a hot bath and go to bed because I told my mom in exchange for helping me paint I would mow the lawn. So it's not going to be fun. It's like heat index of 105. And I'm on lithium and I'm on Seroquel and I don't do heat well, so it's going to be like a patch here and there as I come in the house and cool off and hopefully don't pass out. Yeah, I wish I could show you some pictures of my brooms and wands. I'm sure I did at some point, but I cut off the software for the certain making movies and stuff to save money. So I just like let you know that they're completely awesome. So they will sell if I can get there. I need someone to help me set up. I need someone to help me. I can go home by myself, but I can't be by myself during the whole thing because what if I have to use the bathroom? I'm pretty sure they have something that says you're not supposed to leave your stall unattended. I mean, otherwise I'd be right back with a little clothespin or something. I don't want anything to get stolen. There are thieves there, by the way. Pickpockets. Okay. So, I'll check in with you guys in a little while. In a week or 2 weeks. Good night.